Hey, everybody, welcome back to the bunker. Uh, I'm excited to bring you my first interview with my very good friend Brantner. Uh, we sat down, had a little chat, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Hello, sir.
What's up?
Uh, I guess I'll go. I guess I should introduce you. Uh, for everybody who doesn't know, this is my friend Brantner. We have been playing video games together a long time. Uh, and I'm going to ask him some questions, and then we're going to move on from there. First question to my friend Brantner. What is your favorite gaming memory?
So, back on the either original Xbox or the Xbox 360, they had Ninja Gaiden. It was supposed to be super hard game, and it is. If you've never played it, play through it at least once. Um, but I was playing through, getting to where I was fairly confident in this game, get to the final boss, and get my ass beat for
I remember the game.
4 or 5 days straight.
Yeah.
Just final boss, die, final boss, die. So I finally get mad and I shelved it. I just, nope. I don't care about the ending. I don't care about nothing. So I shelved it. And I got bored one day and I came back, loaded the game up, rolled the final boss one time, and beat its ass.
I've had a couple games like that where
I mean, it,
it's always good to like when you get frustrated to walk away for a day and then come back and it's not so bad anymore. But yeah, I think
yeah,
that was on the original Xbox as well, like late in the life of the original Xbox.
yeah, I think you're probably right. And I know they made, yeah, because they made Ninja Gaiden 2 for the 360.
Mm, yeah.
So you are correct, sir. But yeah, just one of those really big in I don't know how you'd say it, but just a big accomplishment. Like
Yeah. I
I
own
got,
you now.
I have arrived.
Yeah, right. What was the first game you loved?
First game I loved, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Hmm.
I I have played through it. I have no idea how many times. I've played through it on an emulator on my phone. I've played through it on my DS. I've played. I don't think I've got it on the Switch because I don't think they've done it yet. But if they have, I'll beat it there too.
Yeah, that game. I never really got into the Zelda games. I mean, I played the original on the NES, but I never really got into them until Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, and see that's the good thing about that one is a lot of people look at that game and they're like, "Oh, this is one of the best games ever made." Speaking of Ocarina of Time, and it's just there's just something about A Link to the Past. Like I know the map, it's not the story's not super great. It's not a super long game. You literally just jump from one dungeon to the other. It's just that was my game ever since I was a kid.
What is your favorite genre of game?
Favorite genre? I it's really hard for me to answer that question because there's I like every genre. About the only genre that I can't stand to play is the super hardcore like turn-based stuff just because I get kind of bored. But there's even been some of those that I'm like this is a lot of fun. Um I usually stick to like the adventure games and first-person shooters and stuff like that, but I mean there's at least one game for most genres that I would encourage people to play.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sakes, I spent 4 hours a month and a half ago playing that Goose game.
Yeah. That asshole
It,
goose.
and that's the whole idea behind it. You're just an asshole goose running around dicking with people. Like it's amazing. It's so simple. It's so thought out. And it just makes you want to go. What do I have to do next?
Yeah.
Um, but I've always been drawn to the first person shooters. Wolfenstein, Doom,
Doom.
Halo,
Yeah.
going way back to that kind of stuff, and they always seem to kind of hook me, whether the story's good or bad, if the movement's fast or slow. It just That's kind of my happy spot, and then I've kind of branched out from there. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you said that because when I answered these questions last week, I said my favorite genre of game was the turn-based RPGs.
yep,
And
and
somehow we found ourselves in the middle.
and I like RPGs. Uh, they're a lot of fun. They're story based. They really get you into it.
Mm.
Like that's something that's always been kind of cool for me, because in video games in general, just forgetting everything around you and just diving completely into this other place.
Alrighty. Now this question's kind of like the second one, but it's a little different. Like the second question is, what was the first game you loved? But this question is number 4. I probably shouldn't have said number 4 because I hadn't said numbers before. Uh, what is your favorite game?
Favorite game? I would say, well, me and you've both been playing Smite since the Xbox beta. I mean,
Yeah.
we may not be completely loyal, but if we get bored, we can go back to it for a game or two and have some laughs, have a good time, probably still win some matches. So Smite's up there, and then right now it's hard to get out of the BRs.
Yeah.
Um, Warzone, even PUBG. Like
Yeah.
PUBG's been around for a while now, and
It's kind of the flavor of the month, even though they've been around for years. We haven't
right,
played a BR. We haven't been able to play a multiplayer game with that many people in a game until the BRs came around. I mean, there was one that was on the PlayStation 3, I think. I think it was called War or something, where they boasted about having 132 players on each team or something.
yep.
But I never heard anything good about it other than that. You know. Yeah.
Uh, and your Battlefield games, they always pushed for, there's 64 people per team.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's fine and dandy, but you're rolling into a BR with 150 other people
Are not on your team.
that do not like you.
Yeah. All right. But what is one thing about the current gaming climate that you would change?
Oh boy.
Kind of a big one too.
You talking in terms of like the community, or in terms of uh like companies?
Uh, more towards companies because I think the games themselves affect the communities more than the communities affect the games. Because, like we were saying about a certain game company yesterday, they don't. You can be a fanboy towards them, but they don't. You can love them; they won't love you. They just love your dollar.
Right. And I think right there, I think you nailed what I would change.
Yeah.
If I came into the industry and I had all the power in the world to make something different, uh, I would say the microtransactions,
Mm.
those, I don't think they should go away. I understand that they are a good way to make money, and I understand that there is a necessity for that kind of thing. Um, but drop the price. There's some of that stuff that you're paying a lot of money and you're not getting a lot of value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, DLCs, a paid DLC should not be the same price as the full game.
It shouldn't be the same price as the full game 6 months down the road. You
Right.
know, a brand new game 60, you're gonna be $70 in the next generation. if you come out with DLC 6 months later, it shouldn't be 45, $50 for that DLC. And I
It,
mean, that's where I lost interest in Destiny for the most part.
that's kind of the example I was leaning towards was
Yeah.
your Destiny stuff, and they have a super loyal community, and I'm a part of it. Like I don't have any ill will towards Destiny. I've owned the first one, all the DLC, and subsequently the second one with all the DLC. But it's really hard to get into those games with your friends, knowing that in 6 months, if you are in a place where you can, you go on to a new adventure and a new DLC, and they're like, "I'm out." It's rough.
Yeah. All right. I got one more question for you that's not on the list here that I just thought of while we were doing this.
I
Do,
like it.
do you have a question for me?
Question for Moke.
And I won't do my typical 9 inches joke. I guess I did.
What keeps you in the video game community?
That's actually not that difficult of a question because the only thing blaring in my head right now is the community. It's the friends. It's hanging out with people, and you know, nobody's got the same real play style, but you can sit around and bullshit with each other for hours on end and have a good time, and you're you're not going out and spending a ton of money. And I mean, Smite and DLCs aside, uh, it's just a good hangout, and you don't have to worry about things getting too wild or crazy, and especially now,
Nobody,
you know,
nobody punching holes in your walls.
yeah, that hasn't happened in a very long time. So, well, all right, sir. Thank you for hanging
I,
out, and
I appreciate it.
thank.
It's like I said, it's a cool idea. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, I guess that's that for now, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
And there you have it. Uh, be sure to check us out, youtube.com/MokeyVT, twitch.tv/big_moke, twitch.tv/Brantner0, Instagram at Ftroopgaming, and on Twitter at epic_moke. Thanks again. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere, and feel free to leave a comment. Thanks.